Days of Our Lives, 1965, is one of television's most iconic and longest-running soap operas, filled with romance, betrayal, and dramatic twists that kept generations of fans glued to the screen. But while the show lives on, many of the talented actors who made Salem come alive have sadly passed away, often under heartbreaking or tragic circumstances. From beloved veterans of daytime TV to rising stars lost too soon, their lives were marked not just by fame, but also by struggles, loss, and untold personal battles. In this special tribute, we look back at the actors from Days of Our Lives who are no longer with us. Drake Hojen was born on September 29, 1953, and became John Black in 1986 at the age of 33. A fan favorite, John's ever-evolving identity, from Roman Brady to mercenary to priest, mirrored the actor's off-screen turbulence. Though Drake maintained a squeaky clean public image, whispers of backstage tension surrounded his 2008 firing, reportedly due not just to budget cuts, but also friction with producers over script dissatisfaction. Some former co-stars hinted at Hojen's controlling approach to scene dynamics, often insisting on changes that would keep his character heroic. In his personal life, while in a long marriage, gossip tabloids speculated about affairs during his soap heyday, though nothing was confirmed. Hojen also suffered multiple injuries on set, including a serious concussion during a 2009 stunt gone wrong, which led to months of recovery and rumors he wouldn't return. He died on September 28, 2024, just one day before his 71st birthday, after a battle with pancreatic cancer, leaving behind a complex but enduring legacy. Joseph Mscala was born on March 13, 1929, and joined Days of Our Lives in 1982 at the age of 53, playing the formidable Stefano Di Mera. A master villain on screen, Stefano's cruelty and manipulation were legendary, but Mscala's own life bore uncomfortable echoes. A gifted opera singer-turned-actor, Joseph harbored deep resentment over being typecast, leading to frequent clashes with producers over his storyline's direction. His contract disputes often turned ugly, including a 1988 near lawsuit after his character was killed off without warning. While he avoided major public scandal, his volatile temper was no secret on set. Co-stars complained anonymously about his outbursts, and one assistant accused him of verbal abuse, though no formal complaint was filed. Mscala was known to demand special treatment, and some crew nicknamed him the Real Phoenix for how he always forced his return. He died on December 8, 2016, aged 87, after battling Alzheimer's disease. Frances Reed was born on December 9, 1914, and began portraying Alice Horton in 1965 at the age of 51. On screen, Alice was Salem's matriarch, kind, unshakable, and full of moral wisdom. But off-screen, Reed led a surprisingly solitary life, avoiding Hollywood's limelight. Behind her serene image was a woman haunted by unresolved grief. She never remarried after the early dissolution of a long-secret affair with a married Broadway actor in the 1940s. Though respected in the theater world, Frances quietly clashed with producers over the years, allegedly refusing certain scripts she found beneath the dignity of Alice. She was reportedly known among crew members for being intolerant of unprofessionalism and had a tense off-camera relationship with at least one major co-star, often giving them the silent treatment between scenes. Reed struggled privately with Alzheimer's for nearly a decade, hidden from the public eye until her peaceful passing on February 3, 2010, at the age of 95 from natural causes. Bill Hayes was born on June 5, 1925, and first appeared as Doug Williams in 1970 at the age of 45. On screen, Doug was a reformed con artist and lounge singer who transformed into Salem's favorite romantic hero. Though the character exuded charm, Bill Hayes' real-life story was far more complicated than the pristine love story fans believed. His first marriage ended in quiet collapse, allegedly due to infidelity during his early days of fame. Even while he maintained a wholesome image, industry insiders whispered about his controlling behavior toward colleagues and tension with producers when his role was briefly minimized in the 1980s. Hayes, though beloved by fans, was notorious among writers for pushing rewrites to preserve Doug's heroism. Behind the scenes, his tight grip on creative decisions often led to cast divisions, especially involving his wife and co-star Susan Seaforth Hayes. Though never publicly disgraced, he had a reputation as a backstage puppeteer. Hayes died on January 12, 2024, at the age of 98 from natural causes. John Clark, born April 14, 1931, stepped into the role of Mickey Horton in 1965 when he was 34. His on-screen persona was noble, but Clark's real life wasn't as pristine. Clark's early career was rocky. He was nearly fired from the show in the late 1970s due to contract disputes and rumors of being difficult on set. While he had a long marriage, whispers of a troubled home life followed him for years. One of his children, actress Melinda Clark, rarely spoke of him publicly in her early career, fueling speculation about a strained relationship. Clark had reportedly battled depression privately, exacerbated by career stagnation and being increasingly sidelined in the 1990s. Though he was honored with a Lifetime Achievement Award in 2005, insiders claimed Clark was bitter about how the network treated aging stars. He died on October 16, 2019, at the age of 88 from complications of pneumonia, with many feeling his contributions were long underappreciated. John Aniston, born July 24, 1933, took on the role of Victor Kiriakis in 1985 at age 52. A ruthless mobster-turned-business mogul on screen, Aniston's personal life bore its own complexities. Though publicly known as Jennifer Aniston's father, behind the scenes he had a strained and distant relationship with her during her formative years, especially after leaving Jennifer's mother, Nancy Dow, in the early 1980s. The divorce was acrimonious, and Jennifer reportedly didn't speak to him for years. Professionally, Aniston was said to have used his influence to maintain control over his screen time, often insisting on script rewrites to elevate Victor's role. Co-stars quietly noted his intimidating presence and strategic maneuvering behind the scenes, though always cloaked in charm. Despite his polished exterior, he was known to harbor grudges against producers who sidelined older talent. He died quietly on November 11, 2022, in Los Angeles at age 89, with heart failure listed as the cause of death. MacDonald Kerry, born March 15, 1913, was 52 when he debuted as Dr. Tom Horton. While Tom was Salem's moral anchor, Kerry's real life veered far from saintly. Dubbed a charming Hollywood playboy in his early film years, Kerry had a well-documented battle with alcoholism that spanned decades. His marriage to Elizabeth Heckscher was tumultuous, marked by infidelity and periods of separation, before their quiet divorce in 1969. Kerry fathered 6 children but had a complicated, distant relationship with several of them, especially during his years of heaviest drinking. He openly admitted in interviews to losing roles due to his addiction and felt typecast as the moral elder figure late in his career. Rumors swirled about his ego on set, where he allegedly resisted being overshadowed by younger actors. He finally embraced sobriety in 1982, but lung cancer, worsened by years of smoking, claimed him on March 21, 1994, at the age of 81. Quinn K Riker, born May 2, 1936, was 43 when he took on the role of Alex Marshall in 1979. Alex was slick, manipulative, and dangerously persuasive, traits that Riker brought to life with unnerving ease. But Quinn's life behind the curtain mirrored some of that chaos. Though celebrated for co-authoring The Deer Hunter, his Hollywood career was checkered by accusations of erratic behavior and self-sabotage. An intense perfectionist, he was known for alienating producers with arrogant demands and for being nearly impossible in rehearsals. His first marriage ended in scandal amid allegations of infidelity and financial irresponsibility, and one of his estranged children later described him as brilliant but unreachable. Riker had a long-standing feud with Another Day's actor over a stolen storyline pitch, an argument that turned physical backstage in 1984 and was hushed by NBC. Despite this, he remained a formidable screen presence until his quiet death from natural causes on December 20, 2022, aged 86. Peggy McKay was born on November 3, 1927, and took on the role of Caroline Brady in 1983 at the age of 56. While Caroline was moral, maternal, and unwavering, Peggy's private life told a different tale. Known as the Ice Queen among her peers, she was intensely private to the point of paranoia, never confirming relationships, shunning press, and allegedly using pseudonyms to check into hotels. Though never married, Whispers persisted of a decades-long affair with a prominent daytime executive, which some believe shielded her from early retirement during network shakeups. Her intensity wasn't just for the screen. She reportedly berated younger actresses for unprofessionalism and was once suspended for a week after a physical altercation with a crew member. She kept her illnesses hidden, refusing help or hospitalization until her final days. McKay died on October 7, 2018, in Los Angeles, aged 90, of natural causes, but the layers of secrecy around her life remain untold. Wayne Northrup was born on April 12, 1947, and began playing Roman Brady in 1981 at the age of 34. Roman was the archetypal hard-nosed cop with a heart, whose brooding chemistry with Marlena Evans became soap opera legend. Yet behind the camera, Wayne's story was far from the romantic hero he portrayed. His career was marred by early clashes with producers, leading to his shocking removal from the show in 1984, reportedly due to tensions over script control and backstage influence. Though married to Lynn Herring, whispers followed about emotional distance and suspected infidelities during long production breaks. Northrup struggled with depression, retreating to rural isolation where he reportedly cut off contact with several former castmates. Rumors even emerged of bitter fallouts with co-stars over creative credit and on-set favoritism. While he returned briefly to Days as a different character, his re-entry was viewed as lukewarm by the network. He died on November 29, 2024, age 77, from complications related to Alzheimer's disease. Jed Allen was born on March 1, 1935, and joined Days of Our Lives in 1971 at age 36, playing smooth-talking attorney Don Craig. On screen, Don was all charm, but Allen's off-camera persona was far murkier. Though publicly upbeat, he battled compulsive gambling for years, with multiple Vegas bans quietly swept under the rug by his agents. His exit from Days in 1985 was sudden and bitter, fueled, insiders say, by a drunken confrontation with producers after he was passed over for a storyline revamp. Allen's memoir glosses over his darker periods, but cast members remember his mood swings and disappearances during filming weeks. Rumors also swirled about affairs with both female and male co-stars, which he never addressed. Though his later years were calmer, many believe his career fizzled not by choice but due to industry burnout and broken bridges. Allen died on March 9, 2019, in Palm Desert, California, at the age of 84, reportedly of natural causes. Robert Clary, born March 1, 1926, joined Days in 1972 as the charismatic Robert LeClaire at age 46. His character was sophisticated and warm, a fan favorite who ran a French bistro with flair. But Clary's true life was forged in fire. A Holocaust survivor from Buchenwald, he carried unimaginable trauma, yet rarely discussed the darker aftermath, his strained relationships, repressed guilt, and bouts of paranoia that led to professional instability in the 70s. After Hogan's Heroes, Clary's attempts at film stardom faltered, reportedly due to being too intense off-screen and refusing to do PR in a way networks expected. His marriage was childless and quietly tumultuous, with long periods of separation. Though revered in later years, Clary held grudges, including a long, unspoken feud with a Days co-star who mocked his accent. Behind his lectures on tolerance was a haunted man who never fully escaped the shadows. He passed away peacefully in Los Angeles on November 16, 2022, aged 96. Richard Biggs, born March 18, 1960, started portraying Dr. Marcus Hunter in 1987 at age 27. Marcus was a dignified, trailblazing black doctor in Salem, breaking barriers in both storyline and casting. But Biggs's journey was shadowed by unspoken hardships. Behind the charm, he faced constant pressure to play safe and not rock the boat, even when the network sidelined his character in favor of new white leads. Whispers of frustration over racial stereotyping dogged his time on the show, and there were hints he considered legal action for being marginalized. Partially deaf, he concealed his condition for fear it would end his career, an exhausting secret that cost him friendships and trust. He juggled multiple jobs to support his family and funded deaf education himself when promises of industry support fell through. Biggs died on May 22, 2004, aged only 44, from an aortic dissection, a sudden end to a life marked by quiet resistance and unspoken sacrifice. Arlene Sorcin was born on October 14, 1955, and joined Days of Our Lives in 1984 as Calliope Jones Bradford at age 29. Calliope was eccentric, unpredictable, and memorably outrageous, injecting the show with a surreal humor rarely seen in soap operas. While her zany wardrobe and comedic timing earned her love from fans, Sorkin's real life was anything but lighthearted. After her firing from America's Funniest People, she launched a racial discrimination lawsuit that quietly unsettled the industry, with whispers that she had become difficult. Her close association with Paul Dini, who modeled Harley Quinn after her, also stirred murmurs of blurred personal boundaries. Sorkin's outspoken nature and tendency to challenge producers made her a polarizing figure behind the scenes. Privately, she battled multiple sclerosis for years, hiding the toll it took on her career and body. She died on August 24, 2023, at age 67, from complications related to multiple sclerosis and pneumonia. Her final years spent mostly out of public view, a fading legend from daytime TV's golden era. Felice Sampler, born July 16, 1953, took on the role of Renee Dumond in 1981 at the age of 28. Renee was magnetic and glamorous, caught in a web of lies, family secrets, and forbidden love. Sampler herself often blurred lines between her characters and personal life. Rumors circulated about on-set affairs and clashes with co-stars over creative control. Though she reinvented herself as a voice actress in anime, there were unconfirmed claims she left daytime TV after a nervous breakdown triggered by a volatile relationship with a fellow actor. Her ambitions sometimes alienated peers, with one director calling her brilliant but exhausting. Despite presenting a sunny public image, she lived alone and kept much of her private life sealed. She died of a heart attack on July 1, 2021, just days before her 68th birthday, her death reigniting interest in a talent that many believed never got the recognition it truly deserved. Mary Fran was born on February 27, 1943, and joined Days of Our Lives as Amanda Howard in 1974 when she was 31. Amanda embodied soft-spoken grace, navigating complex romances with a composed exterior. Yet off-camera, Fran's life was marked by quiet instability. After transitioning to Newhart, she was typecast, leading to a series of dead-end roles and a growing sense of professional stagnation. Though she projected wholesomeness, her long-term relationship with a powerful network executive, kept secret for years, was rumored to involve coercive dynamics and career manipulation. Her public charity work masked intense struggles with body image and self-worth. Her sudden death on September 23, 1998, at 55, reportedly from a heart attack, came amid plans for a personal memoir, one that friends say would have revealed far more than the world was ready for. John Lupton was born August 23, 1928, and began playing Dr. Tommy Horton Jr. in 1967 at the age of 39. On screen, Tommy was the moral anchor of the Horton family, reliable, compassionate, and unwavering. Off-screen, however, Lupton wrestled with long-standing resentment over being overshadowed by younger, flashier cast members. Sources from the day's set recall his frequent arguments with producers, fueled by an ongoing battle with alcohol dependency. He was known to disappear for days during filming, once causing a major rewrite of a weak storyline. Though never publicly disgraced, his erratic behavior cost him high-profile roles. A deeply private man, Lupton withdrew from the spotlight entirely in his later years. He died on November 3, 1993, age 65, from undisclosed causes, with many speculating that the actor had long been battling inner demons no one truly saw. Patricia Barry was born on November 16, 1922, and joined Days of Our Lives in 1971 as Addie Horton Williams at age 49. Addie was elegant, poised, yet quietly defiant. Her shocking death saving her daughter from an oncoming car etched her into the heart of the series. Though Barry had a refined screen image and a resume of over 130 credits, her off-camera ambition masked a chilling insecurity. She reportedly clashed with younger actresses, quietly lobbying producers to remove rivals who threatened her spotlight. Despite her outward composure, whispers on set spoke of Barry's manipulative streak, often using her influence to sabotage other scenes. Her marriage to producer Philip Barry Jr. was a transactional partnership more than a romantic union. He allegedly resented her success while she resented his lack of it. Friends say she never emotionally recovered after a miscarriage in the late 1950s, which she kept secret for decades. Barry died of natural causes on October 11, 2016, at the age of 93, alone in her Los Angeles home. Tyler Christopher was born on November 11, 1972, and stepped into the role of Stephen O. DiMera in 2017 at age 45. As Stephen, he brought a brooding charm and ruthless ambition, but his off-screen life mirrored the chaos of a DiMera family feud. Christopher's career was plagued by absences and firings. He was abruptly dropped from days in 2019 after disappearing from set for days without explanation. Diagnosed with bipolar disorder, his untreated episodes reportedly caused erratic behavior, including storming out of set mid-shoot and once locking himself in a trailer for hours. His marriage to General Hospital alum Eva Longoria was brief and scandal-ridden, rumored to have ended over infidelity and substance abuse. Legal troubles followed, multiple arrests for public intoxication and disturbing the peace, including one incident where he passed out in an airport bathroom. In the end, he was found dead in his apartment on October 31, 2023, at just 50 years old. The cause of death was positional asphyxia due to acute alcohol intoxication, a tragic fall for a star who once had everything. Stanley Camel, born January 1, 1943, portrayed Eric Peters beginning in 1972 at age 29. His character was a romantic foil, layered with inner conflict. Off-screen, however, Camel was haunted by a perfectionism that bordered on pathological. Though he projected calm, Camel was infamous among co-stars for explosive temper tantrums when scenes didn't go his way. He was once briefly banned from NBC premises after an alleged shouting match with a director turned physical. Rumors claimed he punched a lighting fixture in rage. Camel lived a reclusive life, reportedly battling obsessive-compulsive tendencies and relying on strict rituals to maintain control. Several insiders suspected he struggled with closeted sexuality, fueling emotional isolation and depression. Despite his success in later roles like Dr. Kroger in Monk, he never found lasting connection. His death from a heart attack on April 8, 2008, at age 65 came as a shock, but for those close to him, it was a quiet end to a life of inner torment few truly understood. Wayne Heley, born July 15, 1927, took on the role of Vern Schofield in 1988 at age 61. Vern was the kind of mentor every newsroom wished they had, dependable, wise, and principled. In contrast, Heley's off-screen life was riddled with chaos. He was married 5 times, and each divorce was more bitter than the last. One ex-wife accused him of emotional abuse and neglect, while another claimed he abandoned their children. Though a seasoned actor, he was blacklisted from several productions in the 1980s due to frequent on-set conflicts. Rumors swirled of him insulting junior actors and refusing to take direction. Behind the scenes, he was a heavy drinker who gambled away most of his residuals from early TV work. Heley was estranged from several of his children, including one who later wrote a memoir accusing him of cruelty. He died of kidney failure on November 19, 2008, aged 81, largely forgotten by the industry, save for Die Hard Days fans, and a legacy tarnished by his temper and personal failings. Who is your favorite character in Days of Our Lives? How do you feel knowing that the actors have passed away? Feel free to leave your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoyed this content, don't forget to subscribe to the channel, and hit the bell so you don't miss future videos. Thank you so much.